I say, you look like someone who wants protection and a certain something about presence. Akira? Holler if any of the iron or steel laying around catches your fancy. Or if you need something repaired, I'm happy to take a glance. Akira. They wouldn't put a traditional smith here unless she brought something special. My clients wanted everything engraved and beautiful. Wasn't why I got into the business, but it keeps my debtors happy. I keep it interesting working with exotic materials like shark leather, since there's some demand and little supply. Akira, but these wonders have suffered greatly. I say you must take better care of your things. I say I could repair these to their working order for 1,500 pyres each. Something about the metal, it yearns to bond as one. I could join all these pieces into a great sword for 3,000 pyres. If you need iron or steel, maybe even something lighter, I've got plenty in stock. Akira, when you swing this beauty, you must make sure to tell your foes that Mahiri sent you. Whispers of the endless paths. A most brooding and gloomful weapon, I say. May it chop your enemies into fine pieces for the delight of Tongaloa. I'm honored to have the trust of such a fine customer. Do not hesitate to bring me another challenge. Akira? If you need iron or steel, maybe even something lighter, I've got plenty in stock.
I'd be glad to.
If you need iron or steel, maybe even something lighter, I've got plenty in stock.
I'm here. Absolutely. Yes?
Why, hello. Could Steely at your service. I can tell that you're new to the Deadfire. Maybe you're still getting your bearings? Some of my herbs can help with seasickness or worse afflictions. It's nothing personal. You just have that taking everything in look about you. Give it time. It'll pass. Money is the obvious answer, but I don't think that's what you're after. Yes, I'm an herbalist, but I also pride myself as a florist. I think the city liked the idea of putting a flower shop somewhere visible. It's ostentatious, really. Probably the same reason why we have a magic shop next door. Pariki's Overlook is a great big splash of culture and innovation, there to show travelers that the Huana are ready for the world at large.
I'd be glad to. Not a sound. I'll try my best. Hope that helps.
Welcome back, stranger. If you have questions about my wares, I'm an open book.
Depends on what you mean by follow.
Maybe you heard earlier? I follow Aethys too. Mostly, in a way. I mean, I am a child of the Dawn Stars, even if firstly I'm a Gonite.
That's good, I guess. For you.
Oh, maybe you don't want to talk about it. That's all right. Surely, some other time, then. Was it the way I said it? Or maybe I'm in need of a washing.
Hey, I wanted to ask you something. It's about Shodi. She means well. I can see that. And she's spirited, and if I was still young and didn't know the things I know, it'd be different. But anybody got that much faith in any god, let alone Aethys? I don't know how to talk to someone like that. Not these days. I get why she's like that. I mean, I was there once, long time back. But it's 'cause of that I can't see a way to respect it. I'm no good at hiding it from her either. I don't see this getting better. I've never been much of a liar. Folks tend to see through. All right, I'll do like you said. I don't think she'll believe me, but I'll do it.
I'm here. Certainly.
Takehу, you have shirked your duties for the last time, I say.
Guildmaster, be reasonable. I skipped one lecture to travel up the mountain. Still, the palace is closed until you present me before Onikaza.
You went alone. I asked for patience, but as usual, you make a trench out of a tide pool.
My patience wears thin, old shark. You have stifled me enough for one trip through Rakuhu's bowels.
I say Ngati weeps at her petulant spectacle of a child. For a water shaper who treasures his duty to the goddess, you spend too many days cavorting at the brothel.
Ugh, insufferable. A cozy, madam. Of all the exotic birds in the Deadfire, I have seen none with plumage as fine as yours.
Stop back, Blanca. I did not ask for your buffoonish compliments, nor do I want them.
Then this rooster will give the hen a wide berth. I had not expected the prince to respond so quickly. Serpent's crown is under pressure, I say. And what exactly did Prince Aruihi tell you? Black market? This has nothing to do with my problem, unless... The prince did not mention anything about water shapers? I had thought the guild would be his first concern. It seems I was wrong. Because of what I told him in confidence. Let us speak of this somewhere else. One can never tell who is listening. To the gullet, then. A watcher? And here I am, used to being the freak of Pariki's overlook. Outside of the Mataru priests, we don't get many spirit readers. You are not unknown to me, I say. Whispers of an Adra Colossus reach my ears. And louder whispers of a corpse who follows him. What will you do when you catch up to this walking god? I would command the ocean herself to drag him to the bottom of a lightless trench. If it untangles me from the guild's apron strings, then you can mount me as the figurehead of your fair ship. Our quarters may smell of fish before long, but your crew will be more beautiful by association, I say.
Do the rest of us have a say in the matter?
Lead on. It will be good to put some distance between myself and the guild, even if we find less savory places along the way. A fair warning, Captain. Ngati gifted her favorite son with more than his stunning complexion. Good guess. Only for as long as, well... I say you will learn, in time.
drop of good spice from wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, a drop of good spice from wouldn't do us any harm. Oh, a drop of good spice from wouldn't do us any harm. And we'll all hang on behind, and we'll roll the old Ferris wheel along. We'll roll the old Ferris wheel along. We'll roll the old Ferris wheel along, and we'll all hang on behind. And a bowl of harness stew wouldn't do us any harm. And a bowl of harness stew wouldn't do us any harm. And a bowl of harness stew.
You crack the spine of the old book, revealing blackened pages of dense, illegible text. The words recede into the shadows the longer you focus on them. Suddenly, the page widens to eclipse the world around you. A dark void stretches out on all sides. The air full of choking fumes that carry dying embers and curling flakes of ash. Something stirs in the darkness. An old woman steps forward, leering down at you from on high. Her smile is toothy and cruel. Her cheeks warp around it like melted candle wax.
I'm so glad that my messenger tracked you down. These days it's impossible to find good help. Watcher? Before you draw your weapon, know that these proceedings are under a banner of peace. If this was a trap, it would have already closed around you. While Bareth whispers in one ear and Aethys shouts in the other, I thought you could use a more seasoned perspective to drown out the noise. For the moment, you are Bareth's creature. There are rules against my direct intervention, but nothing says you cannot willingly seek my counsel. Andra and Helia toe the line of acceptable conduct from time to time, but I am nothing if not adherent to our oldest laws. Don't you find it unusual how open and accessible my siblings have made themselves? After millennia of subdued whispers, now they practically scream their intentions. And isn't it strange how we never bicker unless a mortal is watching? By necessity, in fact. But that's hardly the point. If we still possessed our glorious titans, my siblings and I would have put an end to Aethys and his rampage by now. While we are powerless to stop him, some of my kin wish to observe how mortals respond to this threat. They think it will shine a light on the value of our patronage. Have we raised you well enough to be self-sufficient? Or must we return to Eora and impose some corrective measures? A cross-section of society has converged on the Deadfire. Some of my kin are of an opinion that we are meant to judge mortals on the basis of their performance. While the rest of us have already made up our minds on the matter. Judge for yourself. But I think you'll find my intentions are more straightforward than you think. When we ascended to godhood, we did so to provide for a savage people. Our goal was to craft a society whose values were made to last. Perhaps even a society that had no need of us. A naive fallacy, but one that inspired my optimistic, misguided kin. How you and your allies counter this threat will demonstrate whether you are competent enough to guide your own destinies, or if we need to revise our strategy. The soft-hearted among us are counting on you to win this existential wager. No doubt, Aethys shares their sympathies. I do not. We exist to rule over mortals. Nothing can change that. So now you know the truth. I assume you have questions. The wheel is our shared responsibility, and each of us serves it in our own fashion. I am the axle upon which the gods balance their power. Aethys keeps the wheel in motion. He was our promise to mortals that time and labor would yield a deserving reward on the next turning of the cycle. Power, we recognized the potential of the soul. We knew that it could be bound, split apart, diverted like a river, and hammered together. Hammering was trivial. Those of us who agreed with the Apotheosis Project, and many who did not, submitted to a violent and horrible erasure of our individuality. After the dust settled, we adopted the forms of beings from Eora's most prevalent myths. There were other faiths and legends, but we labored to strike their names from history. Much of reincarnation's mechanism exists in the idea space of the beyond. You wouldn't find a wall of cogs and levers unless we conjured one to illustrate a point. The wheel has but one material component in all of Eora. Something we built to channel essence through luminous Adra and into the beyond with reliable continuity. Before we intervened, the flow of essence was directionless, unpredictable. We succeeded in widening the gap, diverting it, giving it an efficient path to follow. Before we took control of the wheel, reincarnation was error-prone, lacking forward momentum. Hollowborn were fairly common, and hardly the worst of the soul maladies. Control gave us the power to strengthen the souls of intelligent kith over generations. We made you wiser, stronger, more likely to develop the society we thought you deserved. Every turning of the cycle demonstrated the righteousness of my belief. Nature begets chaos, and discipline begets perfection. Speak, Watcher. It isn't every day that I open myself to these communions, so spend your breath wisely. Whether knowingly or unintentionally, you seem to find yourself on the vanguard of change. Mortals like you come but once in a lifetime. Some would react poorly if I stripped mortals of their freedom without giving them a chance to plead their case. You have the honor of standing tall as their advocate. Before I return to Eora and assume my position as your deserving tyrant, you have this opportunity to prove me wrong, to demonstrate whether or not mortals are responsible enough to claim their future. Mortals have precious little time to decide for themselves. Will they stand together as one, or swallow their pride and bend the knee? I have every confidence that you will disappoint us. Once my position is upheld, the undecided among the gods will embrace my plan. Prove it or disprove it, yes. I never agreed to this arrangement, but if your example demonstrates mortal ineptitude, as I trust it will, then I can make the plan serve me. An assertive minority of gods believe that your choices will prove the value of their wild optimism. As if mortal collaboration and ingenuity are endorsements of our leadership. Then there are those of us who know better, who are not so easily convinced. Kith are vulnerable, unless they submit to the destiny we chart for them. Thinking otherwise can only breed dissent and chaos. It was an ambitious plan, our utopia. Perhaps too ambitious. We ascended to power, responding to a need inadequately satisfied. Assuming these roles gave us the authority to mold Eora over time, to influence you and lay the groundwork for a society yet to come. On the outset of the plan, some believed that mortals would outgrow us, as if that was a favorable outcome. To me, our eternal pantheon was always a critical fixture. Aethys was one of those who supported mortals, while I have always been their most vocal critic. You mean gods crafting a godless world? Naturally. My siblings desired to influence mortals and steer them in a proper direction, even if that direction led to places we could not follow. I have no intention of being left behind. Society would unravel without its queen to impose strict order. Opposition can take many forms. If a church embraces and weaponizes my doctrine, that is very different from me rampaging as a titan. Aethys is not known for subtlety. Twice now, he has contaminated the purity of our experiment, and done so with extravagant displays that undermine our authority. Impulsive. I am the counterpoint to the soft-hearted. It makes no difference if mortals pass some arbitrary test. My mind is settled on the matter. Regardless of my feelings, the timing of this crisis forces us to accelerate our schedule. Final judgment comes sooner than any of us would prefer. If our pantheon found that mortals had cultivated a perfect, lawful system to maturity, I would not voice a word in protest. I would merely stand aside and await the inevitable collapse. Mortals need us. I know this as well as I know myself. Even a lawful and responsible society would be poised to collapse as long as its architects and strongest adherents were mortal. Any satisfaction that my siblings derived from their little experiment would be short-lived, and it would fall to me to clean up after their mess. Freedom is an unachievable illusion, heralded by the soft at heart. Only those who can find satisfaction in captivity are truly free. Make no mistake, Watcher. In this, I cannot be proven wrong. A valid, self-defeating question, and one which I posed often. We assumed that they, whoever they were, would reveal themselves to us. Rational government would rule in our stead, leaving churches vacant. Thanks to Aethys, we're pulling the dough from the oven before it's had a chance to fully rise. You unfortunate bastards never had the chance to prove me wrong. You've learned much already. Only ask if you are ready for the truth. Yes, I think we will. This is not the end of our discussion. You know how to find your way back to this place.
Worika nods stiffly. You feel her presence drift as a breeze, rustling as it goes.
This be important, lass, so listen close. Whatever you be owing a watcher, you don't owe your life. You ever be wanting to leave, you just pack right up and ship out.
Why would I want to leave? I like it here.
Just saying, lass. He don't own you. Nobody does.